The earth trembled beneath claw and fang. Across the golden dawn mist, a scream, human, yet raw and primal, ripped through the silence. The horizon shimmered with danger, shadows of predators prowling. There were no kings, no cities here, only survival. And here, too, 8 million years ago, our story begins. Before memory, before the word human existed, our ancestors walked a world ruled by hunger, cold, and teeth. The air was thick with the scent of predators, and the horizon blurred in heat and fear. At night, the land belonged to moving shadows, and every rustle could be the end. No steel, no shelter, no law, only sharpened stones and instincts honed by fear. Under a blazing sun, their eyes swept the savannah, searching not for beauty, but for the faintest hint of safety. Every sunrise was borrowed time, every sunset, a silent test of courage. The land stretched endlessly, savannas glowing under the sun, forests whispering with unseen threats, rivers alive with crocodiles. Every step carried the weight of finality. Yet, in this harsh and wild earth, a fragile spark of thought was beginning to burn. Fire was not theirs, language was a dream unborn, but already, rough hands chipped flint into tools, breaking the stillness of nature's rule. Stone struck stone, and sparks leapt like stars, tiny signs of a future they could not yet imagine. At night, they huddled at the cave mouth, not just for warmth, but to feel the heartbeat of those beside them. Beyond the rock's shadow, darkness pulsed with roars, growls, and the silent pause before the kill. The night was a predator too. Food was never found, it was fought for. Roots yanked from the earth, fruits plucked before monkeys could steal them, scraps torn from a predator's kill while vultures circled overhead. Each bite was stolen time against the jaws of starvation. Water glistened under the midday sun, sometimes real, sometimes a cruel mirage. Rivers promised life but hid death in the shallows. To drink was to gamble, one moment of relief could end in a splash, a struggle, and red in the water. Rain came like an ambush, paths turned to sucking mud, storms bent ancient trees, and lightning split the sky in violent white. Dens flooded, nests washed away. In those nights, the first humans learned the oldest law, adapt or vanish. Yet bonds grew in the chaos, not just of blood, but of choice. In the glow of smoldering branches, eyes met, not speaking, but understanding. In these silent pacts, the first tribes, small, fragile, unshakable, were born. They mastered the art of moving like ghosts. Feet found the softest ground, breaths slowed to whispers, and each distant sound was weighed, danger or opportunity. To be heard was to die, to be silent was to live. Hunger was the greatest teacher. It taught patience in the stalk, courage in the chase, and invention in desperation. Empty bellies drove sharp minds to sharper tools, turning need into creation. A cracked bone revealed the prize, rich marrow, thick and warm. Fingers scraped it clean, each mouthful a small victory against the void. Such moments were worth celebrating as if the world had been conquered. Enemies wore many skins, lions in the tall grass, leopards in the trees, and the sky itself, scorching days that seared the skin, nights so cold that breath froze midair, and rains that erased entire hunting grounds. But the most dangerous enemy looked back from human eyes. Rival tribes clashed over water, food, and the right to see another season. Even then, the deadliest predator to humanity was humanity itself. Victory was not always marked by bodies, it was marked by land. A cave held, a hill defended, a trail claimed. In the prehistoric world, territory was life, and life was worth any price. The clever shaped the future, traps baited with meat, flint edges sharpened to blades, and branches carved into spears. Nature's cruelty was now met with human cunning. Strike for strike. Hunting became a ritual. The strongest led the chase, the swiftest closed in, and the wisest chose the killing moment. The prize was shared, for hunger made greed a death sentence. After the hunt, silence returned. They gazed at the star-scattered sky, countless and unreachable, and wondered, what lay beyond that endless black. Curiosity stirred in them, the seed of every future journey. Yet death was a shadow that never left. One wrong step, one careless noise, one hungry predator, and the earth claimed them. Their bones sank into the same soil they once fought to master. If you've walked this far with us through the mists of time, imagine what waits in the chapters still hidden. Subscribe now. And together we'll uncover every untold page before it disappears into history's shadows. The first fire was stolen, from lightning's wrath, from burning grasslands. They fed it wood, guarded it from the wind. With fire came light, warmth, and a weapon that even the fiercest predator dared not face. Fire changed everything. Nights shrank, shadows retreated, and meat roasted over the flames no longer poisoned the body. In the dance of the firelight, humanity began to dream. Dreams became plans, plans became journeys. They followed herds across open plains, braved the green darkness of untouched forests. Exploration began, not with sails, but with bare feet and courage. They read the land as if it spoke, twigs broken by unseen footsteps, pawprints etched in mud, bird calls that led to water. The earth had a language, and humans were learning every word. Seasons ruled life. Warm months fed them well, cold seasons sharpened death's teeth. Those who stored food and firewood lived. Those who didn't, became bones beneath the snow. The sky was their clock. The sun's climb told the hour. The stars marked the seasons. Clouds warned of storms. Long before calendars, the heavens counted the days for them. Injuries were as deadly as predators. A cut could fester. A broken limb could mean slow death by hunger. Yet here, compassion was born, hands that carried the weak, proving survival was not only for the strongest. Children were the heartbeat of the tribe. Their laughter, rare as rain, reminded the elders why they fought. In every child's eyes was the fragile hope of tomorrow. And sometimes, hope was all that kept them alive. When the land went silent, when predators circled, when storms raged for weeks, hope was the spark that kept their feet moving forward. Rivers became roads, guiding them deeper into the unknown. Each bend in the water was a question, food or death. Crossing meant risking crocodiles. Staying meant starvation. The choice was never easy, but courage made it for them. They met others, not enemies, not friends, but strangers whose faces mirrored their own. Curiosity battled fear. Were these kin from afar, or predators wearing a human face? In the silence, alliances were born, or battles began. Some tribes shared knowledge, how to trap fish, how to track wounded prey, how to store food in cool earth. With every exchange, humanity sharpened not just its tools, but its mind. In rare moments of peace, they crafted ornaments from bone and shells, not for survival, but for beauty. This was the first whisper of art, proof that humans longed for more than just life itself. Danger always returned. Night hunts by hyenas, ambushes by leopards, venom from snakes hiding in grass. Nature tested them without mercy, and those who passed the test told the stories. Stories were their memory. Around the fire, they spoke of hunts, of floods, of spirits in the trees. No written words, no ink, only voices carrying history through the air. Generations learned from these stories, each tale a survival guide wrapped in myth. Lessons of caution, of courage, of where water hid and where death waited. Stories kept the tribe alive, but survival demanded movement. Herds shifted, rains changed, rivers dried. Those who stayed behind vanished into the dust, remembered only in the trails left by their footprints. The path forward led them into lands colder than they had ever known. Skins of animals became cloaks, fire became their shield, and together they pushed into the frostbitten unknown. They faced more than nature now, they faced other humans. Stronger, stockier, with heavy brows and sharper eyes. Neanderthals. Sometimes they traded, sometimes they fought, and sometimes, they shared more than they could have imagined. In those unions, the human story deepened. New blood carried new strength, but with it came new rivalries. As tribes fought for the same narrow valleys and scarce game, tools grew deadlier. Spears tipped with stone could pierce hides and flesh. Traps could catch prey in seconds. The balance of power began to tilt, not toward predators, but toward the humans themselves. Yet even as they conquered beasts, they could not conquer the earth. Floods, droughts, and shifting skies reminded them, they were still at the mercy of forces far greater than their own. But with each trial, their resilience grew. They were no longer just prey, they were hunters, builders, storytellers, and dreamers. The world had begun to change, and they were the ones changing it. And this was only the beginning. If you wish to walk further into the shadows of our forgotten past, subscribe, for the story of humanity is far from over, and the next chapter waits beyond the firelight.